Hello, class. It's Dr. T. As you know, your first written assignment is due in Unit 4. I wanted to give you some tips on how to succeed with this assignment. And the first and probably most important tip to get you started on the right foot is please be sure to pick a case study that provides you with enough content and interest to respond to all the points in the paper. I encourage you not to necessarily pick the shortest case study because that gives you the least amount of information. Look for a rich case study with lots of content and issues that you can address. If you look at the assignment, we'll go down here and look over here at the assignment. You are going to be looking at a case study and then critiquing it and analyzing it in terms of demonstrating effective leadership. All these areas you are going to have to respond to. So if you notice, it's going to be quite difficult to identify a leadership approach or style if you don't choose a case study that gives you enough information to address that area. So I would be sure to pick a case study that provides you with a deep amount of information and a situation that would be quite amenable to these questions that are asked for you in your paper. So I'm going to show you the section of your book. As you know, you have your book, Healthcare Management. I'm encouraging you, although there's very interesting case studies in parts 3, 4, 5, and 6, and you may find a good study there. But since your paper is focused on leadership, these two sections will give you the best opportunities for case studies. So if you look, say, for example, under part 2, you have many case studies here to choose from. For example, case study 10 is about the toxic leader. Now, this has a lot of good content in it. You can get some ideas simply by what discussion questions are asked. So you have a lot of content to focus on, a lot to look at in terms of responding to the questions in your paper. So you should look through the different case studies under leadership and management. This is under management at the time. So just check them out. There are some case studies in this book that are quite short and give you minimal amount of information. I encourage you not to choose them. So look around and see what you see. Make sure it's an area that you feel comfortable about. It is the situation that you have some familiarity with and a situation that you feel you can respond to. So let's say here's a disorder in the house. It's about an administrator of a primary care clinic. Now, there's significant content here of points, but the content around describing the situation is about 3 sentences. You could do this, but you'd have to really think this through and go back to your assignment and notice that the instructions tell you that if you don't have enough information, here it is right here. If the case study doesn't supply all the information you need, you should consider a variety of possibilities and draw plausible inferences. So that would mean you'd have to sort of project what you think would unfold in that case study. Be sure you note any such inferences, assumptions, or speculations that you make. So if you don't want to do that, I would encourage you to look for case studies that are rich in content. Okay, so here's an interesting one. I mean, this has quite a bit of content, and it's quite interesting, right? Case study number 21. So if you go back and you go to, that was management. No, that was leadership, wasn't it? Or management? I think it was management. If you go into leadership, you see you have 9 different case studies. So look at them and see what studies would be the most interesting for you to do, the one you'd feel most comfortable with, the one that gives you enough information about the leader in the case study so that you can respond to the questions. Look at them all over and try to find one that you find to be interesting and you're comfortable with. I encourage you not to choose a short case study because you think it'll be easier. I will assure you that, in fact, if you choose a case study that has minimal information, it will actually be much more difficult for you to address the content of the paper. I hope this is a help to you. If you have any questions, please let me know. Take care.